Good morning, boys and girls. This is Miss Hath. I'm going to be doing lessons for week 3. We are going to do lesson 7.8 and lesson 7.9. So, 2 I can statements, no vocabulary for this lesson. So our first I can is I can compare fractions. And I know you know it's compare fractions. And the last one, I can compare fractions that have the same numerator or the same denominator. I can justify the comparisons. That's what we're going to be doing on our first page. So compare fractions, same numerator or same denominator. Justify comparison. Means that you can kind of prove that you're right. Today, I would like you to work on the equivalent fractions game. It's in the EM4 schoolhouse icon. So, let's get started on the lesson. Steve is sorting the number size of his fraction cards into 2 groups. He's got fractions that are greater than a half and fractions that are less than a half. He has made a mistake. So he's got 3/4, 7/8, 2/2, 3/8, and 2/3 in the fractions that are greater than a half. And in the less than a half, he's got 1/4, 2/8, 0/2, 2/6, and 1/3. What mistake did Steve make? Use your fraction number line poster, fraction strips, fraction circles, or fraction cards to help you. Mark an X on the card that Steve put in the wrong group. Show and explain what you did. Well, if I put this back up, and you look, let's look. 3/4, 1, 2, 3/4. Is that greater than a half? You got it, yes. So that one stays. So let's just put a little mark that it stays. 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/8 is greater than half. That one stays. 2/2, which is 1 whole. That one stays. 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. That's not greater. That is less than a half. And 2/3. Here's 2/3. 1, 2. It ends up way over here, and half is right here. So it is greater. So let's take a look at fractions that are less than a half. You have 1/4. 1/4 is definitely less than a half. 2/8. 2/8 is the same as 1/4, and it's less than a half. 0/2, that would be way over here. That's definitely less than a half. 2/6, 1, 2, that's less than a half. 1/3 is the same as 2/6, and that's less than a half. So the answer, or the mistake, is the 3/8. So mark an X on the card that Steve put in the wrong group. All right, let's mark the 3/8. Show how you decided. We looked at our fraction strip poster and figured out that 3/8 is less than 1/2. Now, I'm your partner, because it says in number 2, with your partner, come up with a rule that Steve can use to check whether a fraction is greater than a half or less than a half. So, this is the one I've come up with. If the denominator is more than 2 times the numerator, then the fraction is less than 1/2. So if you double the 3, 3 times 3, 3 is less than 8. And so it's got to be less than 1/2. All right, great job on that first page. Now let's take a look at our next page. Oh, it's our math box. 239. On our math box, we have to complete the number line. We have 0 thirds. So the first tick mark, you got it, 1/3. Second one, 2/3, 3/3, remember, is that 1 whole. Now, we have to circle names for 30, but remember the Hathaway rule. You need to put the answers above. So 3 times, or figure them out, 3 times 10 is 30. We need to do the parentheses first. 2 times 5 is 10. 40 minus 10 equals 30. And remember, we need to do parentheses first. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 5 is 25. Which 2 are you going to circle? You are so smart. You're circling the first one and the second one. Nice job. Now, we need to write greater than, less than, or equal to make each number sentence true. We may use our fraction tool, so I'm going to get this paper back out. Remember to save this because it's going to help us use this throughout our lessons. So 1/2 and 1/3. Here is 1/2. Here is 1/3. Which one's bigger? You got it, 1/2. So 1/2 is greater than 1/3. 1/2 or 2 over 2. Here's half, and this would be 2 over 2 way over here. You got it, 1 whole. 2 over 2 is 1 whole, and 1 whole is greater than 1/2. 1/2 and 1/6. Here's 1/2. Here's 1/6. 1/6 is less than 1/2, or 1/2 is greater than 1/6. 1/2 or 3 over 2. So here's 1/2. Here's 2 over 2. 3 over 2 would be way over here. So 3 over 2 is greater than 1/2, or 1/2 is less than 3 over 2. Okay, next. 15 minutes earlier than the time on the clock would be, let's go 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right there, it would be 7:06. One little tick mark after the 5. 15 minutes later than the time on the clock. So now we have to go the other way. So here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right there, it would be 7, there's 30, 35, 36. 7:36 p.m. Nice job. Okay, box number 5. Think about your answers for problem 3. Here we go. How do you know whether a fraction is greater than 1/2? I looked at my fraction strip poster and I figured out my answer. All right, great job with math boxes for today. Next, we need to do sorting fractions paper. We have 2 parts. We have that, and it came with you're also going to have a fraction number line paper to help us with that sorting. So, look at the fractions below and sort them into 2 groups. Fractions less than 1 and fractions greater than 1. Use the number lines on the following page to help you. So 1/2, here we go, 1/2 would be less than 1. So 1/2 is going to go here, and I'm going to cross it out because I used it. 2/3, we want less than 1. Here's 2/3, here's 1, it's less than. So 2/3 is less than 1. Let's do 6/4. So here's 6 over 4, and here's 1. 6 over 4, you got it. It's greater than. So we're going to put 6/4 over in the greater than side. 3 halves. Here's 2 halves, 3 halves. 2 halves is 1, so 3 halves has to be greater. You are correct. 3 halves is greater than 1. 7/8. 7/8. 1 is right here. It's just barely less than 1 whole. So 7/8 is less than 1. 5/3. Here are my thirds. 5/3 is 3 over 3, or 3/3 is 1 whole. 5/3 is past it, so it has to be greater than 1. 5/3 is greater than 1. 6/8, down at the bottom. 6/8, here's 1 whole. 6/8 less than, you are right. 6/8 is less than 1. And 7/6, your last one. 7/6 is right here. Here's 1. It's greater. 7/6 is greater than 1. Now, look for a pattern in the fractions you sorted and describe a pattern that can help you decide whether a fraction is less than 1 or greater than 1. Well, let's take a look at the greater than 1. Look at the denominator. The numerator's bigger. Numerator's bigger. Numerator's bigger. Numerator's bigger. Bigger or greater? Let's use the word greater. So, for fractions greater than 1, the numerator is more than the denominator. Did you hear how I sounded that out? Denominator. Great job. Remember with this, I would like you to play the equivalent fraction game. So remember to go to your schoolhouse icon and take a look. All right, one more for week 3. We have one more lesson. It's lesson 7.9. And we're going to start with our I cans. Again, just 3 I cans. In a game, there are no vocab words for today. So, first I can. I understand that fractions can be represented on a number line. So, understand fractions represented number line. Second one, I can compare fractions. You are right. Compare fractions. And the last one, I can express whole numbers as fractions. Express whole numbers as fractions. And the game I'd like you to play with this lesson is the fraction topic game. Okay, so let's get started. Our title up here says locating 1/2 on number lines. The whole is the distance from 0 to 1. Label half where you think it should go on the number line. Share your thinking with your partner. Well, I need to go between these, and I'm going to eyeball it about right there, and I say half is there in that first number line. Now, it says for the next part, listen to your teacher for directions for problems 1 and 2. I would like you to put the halves in each spot, and I would like you to label them 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, and 6 halves, which is the 3 whole. This is 2 whole. That's 1 whole. Now, I would like you to mark 3 halves. You got it right there, and you're going to draw that. To me, it's the upside down triangle. It's that pointer spot. So let's mark these. Half, 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 half. Let's label 0 halves, 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves, 7 halves, 8 halves, 9 halves, 10 halves, 11 halves, and 12 halves. I would like you to put the tick mark on 11 halves. You are absolutely right there. Not so bad, is it? Good job, guys. You're doing well with this. Now, the whole number on the lines below is the distance between 0 and 1. Partition each number line. Remember that word partition. We've had that vocabulary before. Partition means to split into parts. Partition each number line to locate and then label the given fraction. Hint, on some number lines there's more than one whole. So here we go. This is whole. Our denominator is thirds. So we've got to get this. Remember, for the tick marks, 1 less than 3 is 2. We've got to get 2 tick marks. And I would say they're about right here. Here and here. So this is 0 thirds. This has to be 1 third. You can mark it. And I did it the opposite. Let's do the upside down triangle as our marker. Good job. Nice work. Now we need 2 6. So that means we've got our denominator 6. We have to have 5 tick marks. Excuse me while I turn the lights back on in here. Here we go. So 6, we're going to do, the 6th is like the thirds. We're going to start right here, right underneath them. And now we're going to split it again. Split this one, and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tick marks. But it gives us 6 sections, right? So let's label 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, and 6, 6. And we want to put our label our spot at 2, 6 right there. What do you notice about 1 third and 2 6? You are absolutely right. They are the same. They are equivalent fractions. 1 third and 2 6 are equivalent fractions. Now, we need to find 3 fourths. So, our denominator is 4. We have 3 tick marks. But remember, when you do anything that's related to halves and all that, you can start right there and put your middle line in. Now you're going to split that in half, and we're going to split this in half, and that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So 0 fourths, 1 fourth, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, and 4 fourths. And we have to label 3 fourths. So there we go. Nice work, everybody. Now, for the eighths, we're going to put the same marks in that we have for the fourths. And now we're going to split those. Split that one in half, that one, and that one. And we're going 0 eighths, 1 eighth, 2 eighths, 3 eighths, 4 eighths, 5 eighths, 6 eighths, 7 eighths, and 8 eighths. And it wants 6 eighths. Uh-oh, what do you notice? You notice that 3 fourths and 6 eighths are equivalent. They are the same. So you notice that 1 third and 2 sixths are the same, and 3 fourths and 6 eighths are the same. Nice job, guys. Now, we need to find 8 thirds. So, thirds, we're going to have to split those. And I'm not real even, but we get the idea. So we've got 0 third, 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds, 4 thirds, 5 thirds, 6 thirds, 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 9 thirds, and there it is. Now, that one does not have an equivalent. That one's just that try this, that bonus one. Nice work. Good job, guys. All right, our math box for today. First one, we need to measure to the nearest half inch, which is longer the length from A to B or C to D. Hold on a minute. I've got to go get a ruler from my storage spot, and I will hurry right back. And we're going to need to measure. If you do not have a ruler at home, you can take a look at what I'm doing. We're measuring to the nearest half inch. So here we go. I've got to line it up. And the first one is like 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to assume that each of these are 1/4. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. 4 fourths, remember, is a whole. So there's 1 whole and 1/4. We got a 1 and 1/4. And we have 2 inches for this one. So which one is longer, A to B or C to D? You are absolutely right. C to D. How much longer is it? About 3/4 of an inch. All right, next problem. Fill in the circles in front of the names for 36. First of all, let's do them. 8 times 3, you got it, 24. 9 times 4, think hard, 36. 6 times 7, 42. And 6 times 6, that's that double, 36. So you're going to fill in which two? You are so smart, B and D. Nice work, guys. All right, fill in the blanks to make the number sentences true. 15. I'm going with 5, and what's the other number? Yes, 3. You are great. 20. Let's do 10 times 2. 24. I'm going to do 6 times 4, and 30. Let's do 5 times 6. Nice work. Now, box number 4. How many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many angles? 1, 2, 3, 4. Put an X on one pair of parallel sides, the top and the bottom. Write a name for this shape. You are so smart. Rectangle. There you go. Now, box 5. There are 5 pencils in a pack. Excuse me. Catalina has 2 packs. How many pencils in all? 5 pencils times 2 packs makes how many? You got it. 10 what? What are they asking? Pencils. 10 pencils. Nice work. Reese has 20 packs. How many pencils in all? So now we're going to go 20 times 5. If you know that 2 times 5 is 10, add on a 0, and we're going to get 100 pencils. Nice work. Number 6, last box. 4 children share $36 equally. How much money does each child get? So you're going to do, here's our division number model. 36 divided by 4 children equals, well, let's try it. Let's do 4 circles and do 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Let's take one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got it. So they each get 9, and the unit is going to be dollars. $9, and 36 divided by 4 is 9, and we just did it down here on our page. Nice job with your math boxes for lesson 7.9. Now, we are going to do the homework, and the homework is locating fractions on number lines. So, partition the holes on each number line, then locate and label the given fractions. Tell someone at home how you partitioned your number lines. So 0 to 1, and we want 1/2, we're just going to go right there in the middle. So 0 halves, 1 half, 2 halves. Okay, we want 1/4, so we're going to go to our half, and then we're going to split that half and split that half. So we've got 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Hey, let's put the dot in the upside down triangle on the part that they wanted us to do, so we can show our folks what we did. Now we need thirds. Remember, you kind of have to guess this out. About here and about there. So we've got 0/3, 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3. And where does our tick mark go? You're right, 2/3. Do your upside down triangle and your big dot on the 2/3. Now we've got 6s. Remember, that's just the double of the thirds. So we're going to start with the thirds. And now we're going to split those in half. And let's label our denominator 6. So 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, and 6, 6. And we are going to find 5, 6. There you go. Put your circle. Put your upside down triangle. Perfect. Last one, we need 3/2. So we have 0/2. And if we put this in half, that would be your 2 over 2. So you have to split that in half, would be your 1 over 2. And if you split that in half, would be your 3 over 2. And here it is, right there. Nice work. Great job. Now, remember, this week I would like you to play a fraction topic game. And I gave you an answer sheet to go through. If you don't have cards, just go back to that. Go back to the homework from 7.8 and pick some fractions from here, and then play the game and decide if your fractions are less than, greater than, or equal to. So I'll do the first one. Let's look. Let's take 1/2, and let's take 4/3. And here's 1/2, and here's 4/3. 4/3 is greater. So that's what I want you to do. You can use this sorting fraction paper from lesson 7.8, and you can figure out that game. You don't have to have fraction cards. You can use that sheet. Also remember, for this week, you must do one practice time test. Remember, it's 3 minutes, and then one graded one. So you take it and have an adult or an older brother and sister check your test. And make sure that I see your score. Have a great week. Remember, you don't have to do this all in one day. You've got the whole week to spread it out. So have a great day, and I miss you guys. Take care. Oh, don't forget, what am I going to remind you? 3 green lights and your 2 games for the week. Thanks, guys.